In this video, we are going to learn how we can create a CRM marketing report with BigQuery. So what we're going to do is that we're going to use Porter to send the tables into Google BigQuery, and then we are going to connect those tables to Looker Studio to do the dashboard. Let's go. I'm already logged in my Porter Metrics account. Now I'm going to click on Create. Then I'm going to click on BigQuery. I'm going to select the data sources. Since this is a CRM report, I'm going to select HubSpot and Klaviyo. Now I'm going to name this connection. In this case, will be CRM, and I will click on Next. I will connect the accounts from each data source. I will start with HubSpot. Remember that whenever you are inside our platform and you are connecting your accounts, you can add new accounts by clicking here in this purple button, or you can select an account that you have connected previously. In this case, I'm going to choose a previous account. I will click on Save. Now I will do the same with Klaviyo. I click on Connect Accounts. I select the account and I click on Save. And now I hit on Next. Perfect. Now we are going to start the setup of the tables we are going to send to Google BigQuery. Most of the times, CRM manages the information from emails, deals, contacts, leads, etc. In this case, we're going to create two tables, one for emails and another one for deals. In this first section, you're going to see the data sources that we connected in the previous steps. So there's nothing to change there. Now we're going to click on BigQuery, and here is where we're going to select the Google Cloud account we want to send this table. You're going to click on the dropdown. In this case, I'm going to select my Google Cloud account. You will see in the dropdown all the accounts that have been connected to this Porter Metrics profile. I'm going to select mine. Then you're going to select the project ID. Remember that the project ID that will be displayed in the dropdown are linked to your Google Cloud account. So in this case, in my Google Cloud account here, I have two projects. One is called My First Project, and the other one is Marketing Data Test Project. So those are the two projects that will appear inside Porter Metrics. So I'm going to select Marketing Data Test Project. Then I'm going to select my dataset location. In this case, it's going to be US multi-region. And now I'm going to choose my dataset. Whenever you click here in the dropdown, you will also see all the datasets that are inside the project that you selected previously. For example, in my Google Cloud account, in my marketing data test project, I have these datasets: CRM report, income report, marketing ads, PPC, SEO, etc. So when I'm here in Porter, the dropdown will display all of these datasets that already exist inside my Google BigQuery account. Here in Porter, we have an option to create a new dataset. What will happen if you click that option is that you will have to name this new dataset. And when we send the table, a new dataset will be created inside the project that you have selected. In this case, will be marketing data test project, and a new table will be created inside the dataset that you just created while you were doing this table inside Porter. For now, I'm gonna go with a previous dataset that I had, that is CRM report, and I'm gonna name this table as Klaviyo email data. Perfect. Now let's choose the metrics for this table. We're gonna click on metrics, and we're gonna start searching for the metrics we want. In this case, I'm gonna look for Klaviyo received email. Then I'm gonna look for Klaviyo open email. I'm gonna add Klaviyo bounce email. I'm also going to add Klaviyo clicked email and Klaviyo unsubscribe from email marketing. I think that's all that I will add. Awesome. Now we are going to create a new metric for this table. So I will click in create metric. And here where it says prompt a formula, I will describe the formula that I want to create. In this case, I will say divide Klaviyo open email by Klaviyo received email. By doing this, I will be able to calculate open rate. And the great thing is that I don't have to do the formula or think on the functions that I have to create. AI will help me doing the formula for me. So I will click on the arrow. You can see here in your formula what AI have created. And in the right, you will see the preview. I just specified that this is a percentage. And now I'm going to name this metric. I will call it open rate. Of course, the output, it says 122%. And the reason for that is because if you see here, Klaviyo open email, it's greater than received email. Why this happens? Because whenever you send an email, probably a user or a person can open that email multiple times. So the open rate can be greater. All right, so we will create that metric, and now it appears here. And I'm going to create another metric. I will click on create metric, and this time will be the CTR or click to open rate, however you want to call it. So it will be divide Klaviyo click email by Klaviyo open email. I will call it CTR. I click on the arrow. Here's the formula, and here is the result. I will say that this is a percentage. I will click on the arrow again, and now I will hit on create. Now I will add a dimension to this table. In this case, I will add the date. Remember that dimensions are a way to label all the rows, so later you can group them and you can run calculations by group in a sense. So I'm just gonna label it by date because I want this table so that later in Looker Studio I can create a time series chart to know the volume of emails we have sent over time. Then I'm gonna select the date range. I will select last 30 days. When you click on the dropdown, you will see many more periods like this year to date, this month to date. You can have custom date ranges. But for this example, I'm just going to choose last 30 days. I will not apply any filter. I will sort this table by date in a descending way. That way, the most recent date appears at the top and the latest one appears at the bottom. I will schedule how often I want this table to be refreshed. You can do so in natural language. In this case, I said every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 a.m. The AI will understand what you are saying. You don't have to worry about doing that manually. You just click on the arrow, and then you will see a chip with what you just have specified the AI to do. And finally, I'm going to choose the write mode. We have already done a video on this specific step. You can go and check it out. For now, I'm going to choose override. That basically is just taking the table every time, destroying it, and creating a new table with the new data. Perfect. I'm going to rename this query so it has the same name as the table I'm creating. So it will be Klaviyo email data. I'm going to save the query. And now I'm going to run the query. So it's delivered to Google BigQuery. It says that the query executed successfully. Now I'm here in my Google BigQuery account, and I'm gonna verify that's correct. I'm here in the marketing data test project. That's the project we selected. In the dataset page, you can see, remember that the dataset that we choose for this new table was CRM report data. So I'm gonna click there. And now I see a table that is called Klaviyo email data. That is the one we just created. We click on it. We can see schema details. And if we click on preview, we will see the preview of the table we just created with the exact same columns. And later we can connect this table to Looker Studio or any other data visualization tool so we can create our dashboard. Now let's go back to Porter and create a new query for this CRM report. We are back in Porter in the query we just created. I'm going to click on back. And now here you will see all the queries that you have done so far in this connection. I just have done one query. So now I'm going to click on new query. The data sources will not change. I'm going to select the Google BigQuery account where I want to send this new table. It's going to be mine. I'm going to select the project ID. It's going to be the same. Marketing data test project. The dataset location is going to be US multi-region. The dataset is going to be the same dataset as the previous table because we want a dataset to contain all the tables related to that topic. So it's going to be CRM report data. And the name of this table will be deals data HubSpot. Now I'm going to add some metrics to this table. This table is going to bring all the data from deals. So I'm going to select HubSpot total deals, then HubSpot deals amount, HubSpot deal close count, and HubSpot deal close one. Those are the metrics that I will add. Remember that metrics are basically numbers. Anything that you can count is a metric. And now I'm going to add dimensions. In this case, you can break down this table or these values by many things. You can break down these values by companies. You can break these values by contact. You can break these values, I don't know, by deal stage. Anything that's a label that help you to categorize or make groups, that's a dimension. In this case, I'm going to choose HubSpot deal stage. And now you can see in the right that we have a column called HubSpot deal stage, and each deal stage have its own total deals, deal amount, deal close lost, and deal close count. Awesome. In this HubSpot account, they have the deal stage in a custom way. So what we are going to do, if you can tell, is that it says cotización. Cotización means quotation in English. So what I want to do is that I want to clean a little bit this column of deal stage. So what I will do is that I'm going to click on create dimension and I will type if HubSpot deal stage contains cotización, then call it quote. I click on the arrow. The AI will help me with the formula. And I will call this like deal stage general category. I will hit on create. Now I have here in the table preview this column called deal stage general category. Now I'm going to select the date range for this table. There are many date ranges like last 7 days, last 30 days, this month, or this quarter. I'm going to choose this quarter for this specific table. I will create a filter on this table. I will select the condition exclude. Now I'm going to select the field that is going to be HubSpot deal stage. HubSpot deal stage general category. I will select the operator that is going to be equals, and I will say cierre perdido. Cierre perdido means close lost. I'm going to refresh the table. Now it has filtered it. Now I'm going to sort this table. I'm doing the sorting by HubSpot deal amount, and I will select descending order. That means that the deal with the greatest amount will appear at the top. And now I'm going to schedule the refreshness of this table. I will say every day at 5 a.m. And finally, I'm going to pick the write mode for this table is going to be override. I will save this query, and I will run it. Perfect. Now we are here in my Google BigQuery. We're going to check this table is inside of it. I will click on my datasets. I will go to CRM report data. And now you can see it there. There's a table called deals data HubSpot. I will select it. I can click on preview, and there I see the preview of the table I just created. Awesome. Now we have our tables inside Google BigQuery. And the next step is to take these tables to Looker Studio. So that way we can create a little dashboard around CRM. So there are two options here. One option is that whenever you are creating the table inside Porter, you will see in the top right a button that it says View in Looker Studio. You can click that one. And as soon as you do that, you will be redirected to Looker Studio. You will have to acknowledge the data access. And now you can see there under the data panel that the data source we have connected to this Looker Studio is deals data HubSpot. That is the table we were doing inside Porter Metrics. This is one option to connect your tables to Looker Studio. After you do that, you just need to click on save and share. You acknowledge and save it, and then you will have this report saved inside your Looker Studio dashboard, and you can go back to it to edit it. The other way to connect your data is that you can go to Looker Studio, you create a blank report or a new report, then in the connectors you choose BigQuery, and here you're going to select the project that contains the table that you want to connect to this Looker Studio. In my case, it will be marketing data test project. Then you have to choose your dataset. In this case, will be CRM report data, and finally you will have to choose the table. That for now I'm going to connect the deals data HubSpot. I click on that, and now you can see here in the data panel that we have a data source that is called deals data HubSpot. Awesome. Now I'm gonna add the other table we just created. I select BigQuery, I go to my project, marketing data test project, CRM report data as dataset, and the table of Klaviyo email data. I add it, and now here in my data panel I have two data sources: one the HubSpot table, and the other one the Klaviyo email data. Perfect. Now we can start creating some charts. The first chart I'm going to create is a scorecard. So I will click on insert. I will select a scorecard. By default, the metric is record count. I'm going to change first the data source to the deals data HubSpot, and I'm going to change the metric now from record count to HubSpot total deals. Perfect. Now I have my scorecard there. I will create a new scorecard. This time will be linked to the same data source, that is deals data HubSpot, but the metric will be HubSpot deal amount. I will remove the decimals because I don't like them. I will put them to 0. Now we're going to insert another scorecard. I will click on insert a scorecard, and the metric for this one will be HubSpot deal closed 1. Apparently it's the same as the total deal, so probably there's something wrong in this account, or the users of this account are not filling the properties correctly. We will change it to HubSpot deal closed lost. We will change it to close loss to see if there's a difference, but it appears as 0. So there's an issue there, but we will continue. This is just an example. Now I'm going to create a bar chart, and this is exactly what I was thinking of. So the dimension for this bar chart is the deal stage general category, and the metric is HubSpot total deals. So that way we can understand how many deals are in which category. So that way we can understand how many deals are in each category. Now I'm going to insert another scorecard, but this time I'm going to change the data source to the Klaviyo email data table. I will change the metric to Klaviyo received email. I will add a new scorecard with the metric Klaviyo open email. And finally, I will add a new scorecard, but this time the metric will be Klaviyo clicked email. That way we have kind of a funnel in scorecards real quick to understand what are the totals of each event. And now I'm gonna insert a time series chart with the same data source, the Klaviyo email data, so I can check how many times the Klaviyo received email event has been triggered. We have this chart right here, and that way we can identify spikes. And to this table, I can add more metrics. I will add the Klaviyo open email to have a reference of the gap between received emails and open emails. And finally, I'm going to add the click emails. Now you can see that here in this chart, the blue line is the Klaviyo received email, the yellow line is the Klaviyo open email, and the purple line is the Klaviyo click email that is almost invisible because not many people are opening these emails. And this is how you can create a CRM report from Google BigQuery tables. See you in the next video.